Women normally do the most of the activities at home. Fetching water, digging, growing cassava, planting of beans, cooking, cleaning the things, and preparing children for school. They lack capital to use when they want to begin business. The woman from Sweden, when she comes, we shall be with her all the time.
I've been helping out Angela now with most of the things at home, sweeping the compound and the cooking and dishing and washing up and picking the cotton. Of course there's a huge difference in the life I live. Especially if you're a female farmer, you have a lot tougher life than I will ever have. It's a lot of hard work. One thing that I was really surprised about when we went to the welcoming and the lunch in Butale, Angela whispered to me saying that you see that the men and women, they're sitting together. It's the gender. And I didn't really understand her. I thought that she meant that they're sitting beside each other, and I really couldn't really figure out. But then I realized that this was a big thing here, that men and women, the husband and the wife, sit beside each other. In any other cooperative they would visit, where they hadn't had the gender training, they would sit one side for the men and one side for the women. The way that the Butale cooperative works is that they try to reduce the burden for the women. For example, by having the gender equality training, they make sure that the men and the women can share the workload, and by sharing the workload, both can, for example, work more in the field and get greater crops. With the gender equality, you can discuss things at home together, plan for your property and plan for your future. And by doing so, by inviting the woman into that discussion, you of course have better decisions, because you make better decisions together.
The specific objectives for this gender training is to remind the participants of the most important gender issues and its impact on the family welfare. The second one is to discuss the challenges of gender mainstreaming on families and how to overcome them. The third specific objective is to set family visions and missions for their family development plans.
This wife of mine is called Mira Kezia. She's a member of Butale Cooperative Society, and I love her because she acts as a family advisor.
I love him because he helps me perform most of the activities.
The one who is supposed to go to the river here, according to our culture here in Bakonjo, is a woman. And even if you do all household chores, that one will never change you from a man to a woman. Why do you really suffocate our wives by just leaving so many loads on them, even when we can still help them and there's nothing that will happen at the end of the day?
But to some of us who have attended some courses like gender, who have seen that women and men are all equal, so we are performing at the same level.
Because of our culture, we cannot force ourselves to do these activities by once. So what we shall do, we shall keep on doing it one by one by one by one. So it is a gradual process for us to achieve gender.
We have come a long way in Sweden when it comes to gender equality, but we still have things to learn. I remember one of the men, we were sitting outside, and he said that we were talking about gender and how it is in Sweden and how we share the work. And I told him that sure, we've come a long way, but we still don't have equal pay for equal job for men and women in Sweden. And he was so surprised.
By the end of this training, every family should see what it is planning for its family. Where should your family go? And what ways do you think you can do it to make sure that it's like that?
What I also learned in this training is the value of having a family vision. We had a really good exercise inside where the women and the man should sit down separately and write their family vision, and then come back to the classroom, put it on the wall and compare it and see if they match and create one together.
We find that my vision is the same as Mr. Ivan.
The last 3 weeks has been an experience that I never thought I would have. Sure, it has been a lot of hard work, but being in this family and being welcomed by the cooperative, yeah, it's something special. Sure, the workload, it's a lot to take on for a Swedish woman, but that has not been the toughest part. The toughest part has been the emotional one. To see how the children really do suffer and don't have many very good views for the future. See how the women here suffer, because they do. I mean, they don't have the same rights as I'm used to. Today is a mixture of feelings. One part of me wants to go home so badly and say hello to my children and my husband. Another part wants me to stay forever, to live in these mountains.
I'm ready to go to Sweden, and very ready. But my fear is I have never reached Taby, and I have never moved by airplane.
I want to give Angela many things when she comes to Sweden. I want to give her some vacation. That's one, because she has a tough job. But I also want to give her some knowledge and experience from how we do things at home.
The weather, I'm scared, because Linda is telling me that maybe weather, it is normally many days it is always cold.
Today is when Auntie Linda is leaving the place of Uganda, leaving the family. The family will feel lonely.
What I will remember about her is the situation whereby one time we went to the garden of cotton down there, where she held a child who was suffering from a wound.
I'm not feeling well because Linda is going back, and I think the family is going to miss her, and I also. So I'm not happy now.